Hello, that's Vavantle. Sure, I want to get quite comfy, but I don't want to make this long. I just wanted to do a bit of a story time about who Hope Ritumezi Ratlhogo as my maiden surname, and currently Hope Ritumezi Makola as my married surname. So a lot of you on this channel most probably know me as Ratlhogo. Okay, first it was Ratlhogo, then it changed to Tladi from my first husband who is now late, and then I remarried about maybe 5-6 odd years after he passed away. I then remarried and I'm currently married to my husband, who his surname is Makola. So I am now Hope Makola, or Tumi for those that know me affectionately from home, and also from, I don't want to call it my past life, but yeah, I call it my past life. So I just want to share a bit of my testimony of how I came to know the Lord, and kind of like explain certain things that would most probably make sense and put into context some of the videos that I plan on doing about just the message cult of Willam Branham, navigating being born in a cult life, or the life I had to live from being born as a teenager leading up to when I got married at 19. I got engaged at 19 after 3 months of meeting my late hubby. He then proposed. And then fast forward, moving on to how I was a widow at 25. And then how I then left the message of Willam Branham only 10 years later, 10 years after my late hubby passed away at 35. I then remarried about 5 years. 5 years later, I then remarried. So I then remarried at 30. And I'm currently 41. So yeah, it's a lot to unpack. I've got my drink here. This is my own homemade kombucha. Which is really, really amazing. Anyway, that's another story. I digress. So basically, who is Hope Ritumezi Makola /Ratlhogo /Tladi? Wow, guys. I really feel like at some point in my life, I want to write a biography of my life story, because I personally feel like it's interesting. And I don't know, maybe some of you might resonate with it. So I was born in 1984, Kotembisa, Hospital View to be specific. This is where I currently run my own natural hair salon, Go 87 Samora Machel. That's where my parents currently live, and that's where my natural hair salon also is based. Shout out to Afros of Hope. Please, can you go follow it in all the social pages under Afros of Hope. The other account is Afros of Hope Studio, but I'm sure you'll find it. Anyway, I digress a lot, guys, so you'll have to forgive me. There'll be a lot of parts to this. So today I'm just going to do part 1, which is the life of me as Ritumezi Hope Ratlhogo. So I was born in 1984 to a wonderful, wonderful, loving couple. My parents, my dad's name is Isaac Molefe Ratlhogo, and my mom's name is Nomsa Queen. Her maiden surname was Ntlapo. She's obviously now Ratlhogo. And I have 2 siblings, 2 brothers. My older brother is Deboho Shepherd Ratlhogo, and my younger brother is Theo Petejo Ratlhogo. Shout out to my amazing 2 brothers. Love you guys so much. I am the middle child and only girl. Definitely my dad's a brown-eyed girl, and my mom my brothers are more of my mom's brown-eyed boys. However, I love my mom dearly. She's got an amazing heart, and those of you that know her would attest to that. So, and so does my dad. My dad is just a gooey ball of kindness, just loving, and just so much gracefulness, and he's such a humble dude. I always call my dad a dude. So funny story, on my wedding day, when we're giving thanks, whatever, at the end of the wedding, this was me now at 20, because we got engaged at 19, and I think about a year later or a couple of months later, because he then proposed after 3 months. So, and then we got married in the next year. This was, I think, 2005 or 2006. We got married in 2006, July the 27th, I think. Anyway, that was many years ago. But Ritumetse Hope Ratlogo was then born to Isaac Ratlogo and Nomsa Ratlogo, who have been married now this year, I think, for 40-something years. And like there's three siblings. We were born and raised in the message cult of Willam Branham, and it basically was like a whole existence of our lives. Our whole entire lives were built on the cult of Willam Branham. Basically, for those of you that have been born in a cult would know that whatever the cult says sort of becomes the law of the land in the family. Like it becomes the rules that govern the family. So a lot of things we were sheltered from. We were not allowed to, especially the girls, especially me as a girl, not allowed to dress with shoulders out like this, not allowed to have piercings, not allowed to have tattoos. As you can see, I've broken all those rules. Not allowed to wear short clothing. Anything above the knee is considered as not modest. You were judged for that. Not allowed to wear costumes, not allowed to have televisions in our home, not allowed to keep worldly friends. And I say that with a pinch of salt. Now that I'm Christian as well, I definitely advise to rather keep Christian friends, right? One thing about a cult, don't forget, a cult is not going to go and reinvent the wheel and totally say different things contrary to what the Bible says. Yeah, so a cult is not going to go and reinvent the wheel and change things. They just, from what the Bible says, a cult is going to obviously read into the text, they're going to add their nuances. Anyway, nonetheless, I'm not going to speak so much about the cults. I just want to just let you know about my background. So I came from very loving parents who came originally from a Pentecostal background. When my mom met my dad, when she was, I think, 17, he was 16, but they're like a couple of months apart. It's not a full year. So I think it's like a story. My mom was born in year 66, like in July, and then my dad was born in April. So July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March, April. So they're like 9 months apart, okay? So yeah, they still they're the same age basically, I think. But anyway, so they then met, and my dad was not a believer when my mom met him. He was not a Christian. He was not saved. They then got married. And my dad would always drop my mom off at church. And one time my dad, he'd always just drop my mom off at church. Then my mom would go into church and just pray and what have you. And one time it was Reynold Bongwe. He had a tent revival that was going on Goatridgeville in Pretoria. And he called an altar call, and my mom was kind of on her knees praying and just saying, Lord, I just pray one day you can just save my husband, praying for my dad's salvation. And as she stood up to go to the front for the altar call, she literally saw this tall, dark, handsome, of course, guy that she says lifting up his hands. And guess what? It was my dad giving his life to the Lord, and my mom didn't know anything about it. She was crying. She was so overwhelmed. This was after years and years of her praying for my dad, for my dad's salvation, and he finally came to the Lord. I think my mom was pregnant with my older brother, or my older brother was a year or so by then. And yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it here for part 1. I'll see you guys in part 2. Bye.